On today's show, Tom and I are heading on the trip of a lifetime.
Mad, right? That. And also, your chance to get £50 with Golf Bidder, a £50 voucher in Golf Bidder Corner, all in the next half an hour. Let's do the show.
Well, look what we've got here. It's only another Thursday edition, rendition, celebration, nightmare that is golf is ruining my life. I'm Tom Price. That guy's Tom Green. Hello, welcome back.
Welcome to another episode of Great Britain's second biggest golf podcast. And we have had, it feels like so many golfing highs over the last few weeks. We've had Rory doing the Grand Slam, winning the Masters. We've had me beating Tom Price, a personal highlight for me.
Where's my golfing high? Rory and you have had a great time.
Yeah.
Where's mine?
Don't know, actually. You're due one. You're due something. You must be boiling away something in the background.
That's exciting. I mean,
but
yes, there's been some highs.
What I'm bringing to the table here, Tom, is that with these highs has come a crashing low for me.
Go on.
Because after putting it off and my appetite sort of dwindling after the 8 over and me becoming a single-figured golfer, I hadn't put a card in for a while. I played a couple of 9 holes.
You got scared. You got scared of your own future, mate. We all are as golfers. We're all terrified.
And I put a card in on Friday. And I shot a 20 over. Shot a 90. A 90.
Wait, well, I mean, so that's 9-0. Nothing wrong with that, obviously. But that's quite a leap up from 8 over. But can I tell you the most annoying thing? What is the most annoying thing people say when you put a bad card in? That's one of the most irritating things about modern golf is that you put a card in. If you've got my EG or, you're doing the medal, other people see it. There's a sort of social network evolving around your golf scores. And the worst one I've seen several times when I shoot a rubbish score is that's unlike you.
Oh, yeah, that's unlike you. Yeah. I honestly, that's unlike you. I actually don't mind. I don't mind that's unlike you because there is at least a level of positivity. There is an understanding about what you're going through. Now, the bloke that I'm playing with, lovely Neil. Love playing golf with Neil, who's relatively new to golf. I don't think he's quite got to grips with the etiquette of it. Because on the way around, he did constantly remind me I wasn't quite playing as well as I did when I got my 8 over.
What was he saying?
I know, Neil. I know.
You got a birdie on here the other day.
That was all that. He's like, God, your putter was on fire when we played last Friday. You were getting them all in last Friday. But it's funny, isn't it, with this game?
Mate.
Because I saw something online a few days ago about how professional golfers, they can also go from shooting course records. They can have 10-shot, 15-shot swings. Like, it does happen. This is just this sport, right?
Yeah.
And
of course, it's the nature of the sport. It's agony. And don't forget that your pain is, first of all, it's grist to our Golfers Ruining My Life mill. We love hearing about your golfing pain. We get a lot of emails every day.
Yes.
It's almost like we're becoming sort of golfing Samaritans over here. But also, from your pain, Tom, you'll push on through and you will play well. Again, do not feel that 8 over is now in the rearview mirror and you're never going to do that again because you did that, so you can do that again.
Yeah. And what I felt with it is we all need to remember that golf, there is a good portion of luck needed. Just like when Rory hit that little chip out the trees and it stayed on the bank before rolling into Rays Creek. It was just there on the bank. It so nearly rolled in. I listened to an interview with Rory and he said he almost ran over to the ball so he could get there and take his shot. I don't know if you saw this, Tom. This was fascinating. Rory debated taking a shot out of turn with Bryson just because he wanted to get his ball moving because it was on the sort of the runoff into Rays Creek. How fascinating is that?
Oh. Hang on, but it went in, didn't it? Or was this another shot?
No, this was the one that he punched out. So he had one where Bryson put it in the water and he punched one out. And I thought it was definitely going to go in the water. And it just before it sort of rolled away, it held. And he was saying in an interview, he almost ran over and just took that shot out of turn just to get it done. But there is always...
Ready golf, Bryson. Ready golf, Bryson.
Off we go. There's a portion of luck in all good golf. And what I felt I didn't have on Friday, and this happens to us all, is I just didn't get the luck. I found every fairway bunker. Do you know what I also found, Tom? And this is... I think I'm about to have a humble brag.
Oh, yeah. Go on. I love a humble brag.
my irons are going so much further now that I'm putting my weight behind it, and I've got the hashtag sway not sway, sort of the weight movement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sending, things that were a 9-iron and now a pitching wedge, and I suffered that quite a lot on Friday, going over the back, like 7 irons over the back of greens, and going, I need to relearn my distance.
But that's enjoyable when that happens. Yeah, because then you get to say to Neil, well, if anything, I'm playing better than the other day. My score hasn't caught up yet. Yeah. My score hasn't woken up to how good I've become. That's interesting you should say that, because I had that towards the end of last season and the beginning of this season, this compression thing. If you go arms and wrists, you might get a nice sort of strike where you clip it off the top of the turf, but it doesn't go as far. Whereas when you've got body and proper core and a proper turn, with less effort, your ball goes that much further because you compress it. A proper turn and proper compression, and the ball goes further. Is that because of your lessons, do you think, you've been getting that?
I think I actually put a lot of the plaudits
It's me,
no.
It's me.
Just this podcast and just being really, really knee deep in the sport right now and watching so much and really taking it all in, practicing so much more. But am I glad I shot a 90? I sort of am, because it's put some coal in the fire, and we're playing tomorrow, me and you.
Yes, so tomorrow we're going to Worplesdon, the golf course of the year of Great Britain and Ireland, none other, no less. Brilliantly, because you've got a radio show at a certain time, I've got a radio show at a certain time. I'm playing the front nine, you're playing the back nine. So in the same way that you won't remember them, but the famous comedy double act from the 80s, Cannon and Ball, apparently they didn't get on at all. And they used to pass backstage and they wouldn't talk to each other at all. And they would only really talk on stage. So I think people in the golfing industry, and we go there and meet lots of other people, are going to be like, wow, Tom and Tom do not get on. They one left and then the other could arrive only once the first one had left.
They're golf's Cannon and Ball. This is completely unrelated to golf, but it's one of my favourite facts. You know the Mythbusters TV show on Discovery or whatever?
Yeah, I don't watch it that much. I know what it is, but yeah.
They never got on. They weren't mates. Mad.
Can you imagine? How hard would that be?
Awful.
To sustain that stuff. Can I first of all say, don't worry about your 90. We'll move on. Also, I'm just having a recollection, Tom, that on the last show, we promised we would reveal elements of what we are about to do. That's definitely something which we agreed on the show. I know we shouldn't do admin on the show. I know it's unprofessional. But I'm sure we agreed that we would tell people what we were going to get up to an extent, i.e. that we're going on a little trip.
Yeah, I think we can say what it is. I don't think I want to say how it ends right now, just in case for admin reasons. We don't know yet, do we? That falls apart.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Fine.
Well, I guess. Well, me and Tom on Sunday are getting on a flight.
We're getting on a plane together.
Yeah, and we're going to Scotland.
Brilliant. We're off to Scotland, mate. And I don't know about you, Tom, but I'm taking my golf clubs. Are you taking your golf clubs to Scotland?
I'm taking my golf clubs to Scotland because there is something. We are going filming in Scotland on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. And what this is going to do is this is going to bring the content to the channel we've been asked for the last year, basically, which is we want course vlogs, we want you two playing. So that is what we're going to do. Now, the courses that we've managed to, through you guys, blag ourselves onto are ridiculous.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Turns out there's some quite nice golf courses in Scotland, which is a great fact worth knowing if you're ever looking to play golf up in Scotland. We won't reveal where we're playing, but you will find out. We've been getting a lot of requests over the last year. It's sort of 50-50 divided. A lot of the requests are, please sell all of your podcasting equipment and stop. And the other requests are, please get on the course and do another episode of the Versus series. This is something we did right at the beginning, and we didn't really have the resources and the time to do more. But over time, and it's because of you lot supporting us and being there and telling all your mates about this show, that we've now got the ability and the means to get on this plane, fly up. I can't believe we're doing it. We're flying to Scotland. As soon as we finish recording this episode, we're having a meeting with our production crew and we're booking flights. And then this is the sweetest thing of all. I have to go downstairs and say to my wife, well, on Sunday, obviously, I'm going on that work trip.
Yeah, it's the work trip, which means, guys, golf balls are tax deductible. Come on, let's go. Now, I don't want to give away too much here, but what this is going to mean is for the rest of the summer, so for May, June, July, you will have course vlogs landing on our YouTube channel every single week. So the Tom's Golfers Are In My Life is the email address, which is irrelevant for right now. Go to our YouTube channel.
Good to know.
And search Golfers Are In My Life. And they'll
at Golfers Are In My Life, youtube.com/@Golfers Are In My Life.
Yes. There'll be course vlogs on there. We're also going to do podcasts from the clubhouses of the courses that we play in. And this will all come to a head in May, June, July, where we are going to take part in something absolutely ridiculous. And we're going to bring you along with us.
But can I say...
Yes.
Now, this is important. And by the way, the second half of today's episode is going to be the email special. So we need to get all this gumph out of the way, Tom. And I wonder if you are listening to this or watching us on YouTube and you've got big golf coming up. How are you feeling, Tom, about your golf in light of the fact that we are going on this thing and we have to be playing really, really well? Because I am feeling quite focused about this thing. I'm playing golf in the next 6 or 7 days before we go. I'm playing 5 times. I am going to read a bit of Bob in Bob We Trust. I'm going to be practicing my putting. I'm taking this quite seriously because I don't want to play badly for the camera and I don't want to play badly for the Scots.
Yeah, I'm taking it quite seriously as well. I've got golf tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday and Saturday. Good. I'm getting a lot of rounds in because if there's one thing, and I actually don't know if I've ever said this on the show. I say this a lot when I'm playing golf, but I don't know if I've ever put this onto the podcast. I'm not a natural sportsman. I don't know if you could have ever told. I'm not naturally athletic or anything like that. Well, that's very kind, Tom. But the only reason that I've become anywhere near half, maybe okay at this sport is by practicing and playing quite a bit. So that is what I'm having to do now between now and when we fly up to Scotland on Sunday. Is I'm just.
So will you play rounds or will you practice?
No. No, I just need to be playing rounds. I just need to be getting as many holes away as I can.
I'm not sure that's... Well, listen, you do you. But I think what I'm going to do is I feel like my chipping, I feel like my short game, getting the bump and runs ready for Scotland, being confident with my putter. I feel like hours spent doing that will ground me enough to sort of let the long game, which I'm always been best at, sort of release that and let it do its thing. But I think that I'm going to play a couple of rounds, don't get me wrong. But I think that getting my short game really drilled into different options, you know what I mean? So I can say, I want to hit a good flop shot here. I want to hit a really good bump and run here. Making sure I know those shots and I can access those shots rather than just going, I'll sort of knock it over there and hope for the best.
Talking about hitting flop shots, actually, this goes back to me getting a 90 the other day. I think there's a lesson in this for all of us because when I teed off on that round and I knew I was putting a card in, and I'm actually, to be honest with everyone, I'm totally fine with the 90 because the main thing for me is that my handicap that I've got on my IG reflects my level of golf. That's the only thing I want, is to sort of win competitions and to have a handicap that is me on my best day, which for so long my handicap wasn't because I protected my handicap. What I thought was really interesting is when I went out there on that Friday and I shot the 90, in my head, I was a single-figured golfer. So I started taking on shots that I've never done before. Tight, horrible lies. Yeah, I'm going to take a 58 degree on that. Obviously, I'm not that guy. I'm not Dan Grieve. I can't do that. And I changed my approach to the game because all of a sudden I was a single-figure golfer. These are the shots that I'm going to go for. And it really affected my score when really I should have just continued doing what I always do. Little bump and run, couple of bunts, and we're all right.
That is so interesting that when you are playing, when you put a good round in, consolidate what you're good at and keep doing that. Basically what I'm saying is stay in your lane, but be really good in that lane. And if you want to then develop other things, like you're saying, like a 58, whatever, you got to go and pay your dues. You got to go and practice that stuff in order to let that into your game. But you're absolutely right. You scored that fantastic score doing a really good version of you. Better to do a really good version of you than a crap version of a better golfer.
Yeah, and that's so true. And I think we're all, this is a sweeping statement, but I'm going to say it's probably true for most of us. We're all in that level of golf where we're just trying to get down to, okay, whether it's low teens or single figures, none of us here are trying to go pro, right? So to get down to scratch, you only have to be your best self. And that doesn't mean that you need to hit 58 degree flop shots. You don't have to be hitting 300-yard drives. Tom, we've seen people shoot scratch. I've seen single-figure golfers, really low single-figure golfers, and their game does not look like what you see on the PGA Tour. That is the best thing, I think. It's play your best you, and that will lead to great scores.
Play your best, not their best. It's really important. Yeah. Now, something we need to do before we get to the lovely products section. And I know a lot of you tune into this, certainly on in the audio version, because you just love listening to the adverts. And we're going to get some products in a moment. But if you remember, in a slightly outlandish and I wonder, maybe can I use the word overreach? On the last episode, Tom and I decided to ask if anyone out there would like to help us get fitted for a new bag. And I thought it was very much, I believe they call it a long shot, casting off with not much bait on the hook. However, in extraordinary news, and I'll be honest, I thought it was, I didn't know if the email was real. Something's happened, hasn't it, Tom?
I thought we were having a cyber attack. I thought it was a phishing email, but I don't think it was. Do you know what? Let's get some adverts. Let's get some lovely products.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
After these products, we'll tell you about a thing.
Yes, we will tell you about a thing. We'll tell you about an email we had, and then we'll do your emails. Hello, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the products. I know I did. So Tom and I got an email the other day. I'm just going to say it.
We got the email.
It's incredible. Hello to everyone at Ping, and thank you so much for emailing us.
Yeah.
And Ping have asked us to go to their headquarters in Gainsborough and get fitted for a full bag, I assume, of golf clubs. I am beside myself. I've had problems sleeping. My wife is learning all about Ping. I do little 20-minute TED Talks every evening, taking her through the history of Ping and what an incredible company it is, and how Tom, as a kid, I played with Ping Zing 2s. Yeah. Ping has always been the classiest brand, the most sort of delicious design of golf clubs, and golf clubs that I have long since stared at with a little bit of drool coming out the side of my mouth. And now here we are.
Yeah, and I think we've always been really honest on this show about the clubs that we've played, whether it was when I first started the podcast and I was playing Titleist AP2s, and then we had a gorgeous love affair with Cobra Puma for a few years. And we're really open at the moment to put in the bag whatever works for us. You know, we've not signed any deals. We're not going to be saying, oh, we're just going to do this thing or this thing. That's why we said on the podcast last week, we just want to find out what feels great and what's going to improve our game for the rest of this year. We stumbled on this pretty organically, I think, in January, that it felt like this year was a really big year for the show as we all try and play our best golf, whether it's, as I say, single figures or just breaking 100. And I want to put in the bag whatever is going to facilitate me doing that. So
I'm so excited.
Yeah, so it's as simple as this. Over the next few weeks, we're going to go up to Gainsborough, the Ping European headquarters, and get fitted for a bag and just see where it goes. The G440 is their driver. I've heard such good things about the G440. Yes. Maybe that's what ends up in the bag. Maybe we take maybe the lab goes out and one of the new Ping putters come in. I don't know where this is going to go.
Such class, man.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. We are going to Diagon Alley, and we are going to get new ones, and we're very excited. And we will tell you all about it here on the podcast, and we will keep you in the loop with what's going on. So it's super exciting. Now, in the meantime, let's move on. It's time to do the email corner.
Can I just one more thing on that? One more before we move on. Yeah. Just before we. Sorry, just one more thing on that. The coolest thing I think about coming with us on this Gainsborough experience is that a lot of the brands are sort of a quote-unquote normal punter like me and you can't go along and have the fitting experience. I think Titleist Woburn Centre's a good example of that. You have to be invited, which is really cool, but also feels like we can't talk about it and then have you lot go along. I think the coolest thing and the thing that made us really want to do this Gainsborough experience is that you can come with us, and if you like it, you can then go do it for yourself. Anyway, email corner.
Yes, that is a very valid point. Okay, so thank you to all of your emails over the last week. We're going to choose one now, and our favourite's going to win £50 to spend at Golf Bidder. Tom, shall I start?
Yes, you start. You tee off, please.
Okay, fine, all right. We're going to start with Aaron Hargreaves. Hello to Aaron. Hi, guys.
Hello,
long-time
Aaron.
listener, first-time emailer. Lifelong victim of golf's cruel sense of humour. I'm a 26 handicapper named Aaron, and I wanted to share the story of how golf thoroughly embarrassed me on what was meant to be a wholesome 30th birthday treat. Birthday golf. Don't do it, kids.
Okay.
Why ruin the best day of the year? Why would you do that? My dad kindly booked us a round at the lovely Carris Green, a proper father-son bonding day, and a chance for me to pretend briefly that I'm better at this game.
Green interjection. Carris Green is a golf course I've played. I've been there. It's in the Lake District.
Is that where you got your surname from?
Yes, I'm named after it. Yeah, it's my course. Thanks for going to go play it, Aaron. It's lovely to have you at my home. No, lovely golf course. Tricky par 3 to finish, from my memory.
Oh, I love a par 3 to finish. Shockingly, I was actually playing okay. Nothing flashy, but the wheels were mostly on. And then magic. I birdied the par 3 10th.
Oh, okay.
A birdie. No fluke, no foot wedge, no witnesses other than my dad, but still a real cardable birdie. I floated off that green like I was ready for a live contract. Fast forward, I like the way you've gone for live there and not PGA. You're still keeping it strangely feasible. Yeah, live could happen. So fast forward to the next par 3, the 15th, and I'm full of confidence, practically arrogant. I stepped onto the tee like I was auditioning for the Ryder Cup. I picked my club. I did a dramatic pre-shot routine I definitely stole from YouTube. Then I shanked my tee shot straight into a tree 40 yards ahead. Direct hit. The tree didn't even flinch. Why would it? It's a tree. My ball rocketed back off the trunk and landed 2 feet to my left, still on the tee box, just in case there was any doubt about who was in charge. My dad laughed so hard he had to crouch down. I know those laughs. Yeah. Men of a certain age might need to nip and, just tidy that up. I briefly considered walking into the lake and not coming back. Anyway, just thought I'd share this emotional roller coaster with you. From birdie highs to shank-related existential crises, all in the space of 5 holes. Golf is, of course, ruining my life. Aaron, we love that email. And for me, Tom, it's the neatness of the ball landing back.
Yeah, it's glorious,
right,
isn't it?
It makes it feel like golf. If golf is the only sport where you feel it's sentient, you feel golf has a spirit and a soul that wants to jab you and prod you.
It's just had your pants down and give you a little tickle. And if it doesn't feel nice, it's just not nice. Thank you for that email. Richard Daniels as well dropped us a really fun email. Evening, gents. Love the daily podcast. It won't happen again. Well, it will.
I do not love the daily podcast
just
at all.
Not for a little bit. Please continue, even when there's no golf. Just general life chit-chat. Richard, love you.
Just flim-flam. Okay, we'll do Life is Ruining My Life.
In any case, looking forward to the 2025 rewrite of Barbara Teller's magnum opus with the 2 key new chapters. How I got Rory his green jacket and taking the Toms from 5th to 2nd place. The man is a marvel. Wishing you all well, Rich Parpal 5. P.S. Shout out to my brother who asked me if I'd heard of the Grulm podcast during the Masters when I'd only been telling him about it for months and months before.
Nice. No, that makes me so happy when you tell other people about it and then they say, yes, I know, I've been telling you about this. That is brilliant. And can I just say, by the way, Tom, very quickly, I've got to say hello to Alice Harding because she won a tournament up at my local club the other day and she's a fan and I think she's like 12. We have quite young listeners, Tom. It's because of you. I think you bring the young listeners in.
I'm the youthful one. I am the young, relevant 30-year-old broadcaster, which, by the way, in golf makes me young. I'm like on the MTV of golf. We do have loads of young listeners, which makes me feel bad for any swears that I've ever done. I'm not naturally a sweary bloke, but I feel like 1 or 2 maybe in the early episodes when I was drinking cider on a sofa in Preston doing the podcast. It wasn't my better years.
But let's be honest, don't worry about it. These listeners, right, these young kids who play golf, they have played golf on golf courses. They have heard adults swearing. Yeah. It is impossible, right, for a child to be on a golf course and not hear somewhere at some stage a rude word. Often, in the case of my kids, from their dad. Moving on. Hello to Rob Hunt. Now, Tom, I like this email. And this might be a contender for email of the week.
Okay. I feel Rob Hunt is a name that rings a bell with me. I think we've spoken about Rob Hunt before because it feels like a slang for a really naughty word, the Champions League level one.
Okay, fine, let's just do this one because it's really good.
Yeah.
Hi, Toms. In response to the latest pod, I have developed, and this is brilliant, the Price Green scale of golfing annoyance in honour of the UK's second biggest podcast.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. Interesting.
Yeah. By the way, Rob has called us the UK's second biggest podcast, and I'm sure the rest is history. Would have something to say about that.
Have you heard of Golf Hanger?
Yeah, exactly. The scale operates on a number of 1 to 10 and how annoying something is to give you an idea of the range they cover. This is brilliant, Tom.
Yeah, this is really good.
We can make this official. We can create the golfing police force. 1 to 3 doesn't really affect my game, but annoys me. For example, others wearing non-golfing clothes is a 1. I think.
Okay.
I maybe put that up to 2 or 3. Golfers that leave their bag on the wrong side of the green is a 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're starting to slow down the pace of play. It's starting to affect your own
which
golf.
Does affect you.
That's annoying.
Yes. 4 to 6 on this scale, on the Price Green scale, potentially impacts my game due to annoyance. Interesting. So this is because of annoyance. For example, players that wait for the green to clear before they tee off on a 400-yard hole is a 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who does that? Come on, guys.
Why?
You're not that guy.
Waiting on a player to scoop 6 balls out of water is a 6. That's really funny. I've got a mate who does that every time we go past as a little dip. It's not the pick and mix in Woolworths.
Oh, they have a little hunt, do they? What, for other people's golf balls?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, listen, it's an expensive game. I get it.
Yeah, fair enough. 7 to 9 directly impacts my game. Not raking a bunker, 7. Yes. Not repairing pitch marks, 9. Oh my God. 10 means the offender should be executed. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And put on display as a warning to others. Okay. All right, Rob, you were going really well there until you suggested this wasn't a capital punishment vibe. I was thinking more, a 10 is maybe an email to the secretary.
Yeah.
In golfing terms, that is capital punishment.
I don't know.
I would say.
Hear him out. See what he's got to say.
All right, fine. Okay, that's fine. I mean, that's the end of the email. Rob Hunt wants hunt by name. He wants to hunt and kill people by nature. So, but that is great. So we've got the scale now, the price screen scale. So if you've got a golfing annoyance, feel free to put it on the price screen scale. 1 to 3 doesn't really affect my game. It's annoying. 4 to 6 potentially impacts my game because it's annoying. 7 to 9 directly impacts my game. Come up with your offences and get in touch or write in the comments. What are the offences and what is the number of your golfing irritations on the price green scale?
I need to put quite high up there. Dare I say it, into the 10 category. The golfer who fills in the scorecard while still on the green. Oh,
Don't.
Dear me, that's annoying. Goodness gracious me. Could I just say something on all this?
Everyone
all this
leaves the green
stuff?
with a number in their head. Yeah.
I'm conscious that sometimes when we talk about etiquette, and we spoke about a football shirt thing the other week, and we got a load of comments. It was actually a really interesting debate because there's the people that watch us on YouTube and listen to the podcast that I think we all agree maybe football shirts on the golf course are not ideal. And then the TikTok people seem to think that they're absolutely fine, right? And when I talk about etiquette, I don't want etiquette to ever get in the way of people's enjoyment of the game. And I also don't want it to ever be a barrier for people to stop getting into the game. And I understand that just by me saying that, it won't stop people being scared of doing the wrong etiquette and then getting shouted at. But I think the etiquette is almost the joy of the sport. It's what you learn from years of playing, and you pick it up and you do this merry dance where you put a collar on and you're polite with each other, and it's all part of the fun of it. I don't want it to be seen as a barrier to the sport, and we always get comments like shrink the game and this sort of stuff, and I don't think it is shrinking the game. I just think it's part of the merry dance that we all dance.
And it is a wonderful dance that we do, and some of them are based on practical things. So, for example, we had a great comment the other day. We were talking about spikes in the car park, and changing your shoes in the car park is something which, at certain courses, the real posh ones, is frowned upon. And a comment, and thank you very much for this, whoever wrote it, pointed out that this is a callback to a day when everyone wore spikes, hard metal, very sharp spikes. Golf spikes used to be like pins, right?
Yeah.
And everyone used to wear those. And over time, if everyone wore those in the car park, it ruined the tarmac of the car park. So over time, over a whole year, everyone using that would degrade and corrupt the tarmac. So people were like, don't do it because you're ruining the drive, basically. So a lot of these rules are silly, but a lot of them are based on, they're not just tradition for the sake of tradition. Often there's a practical reason.
Yeah, and I don't mind a bit of tradition. I don't mind the merry dance. But what I'm really sort of a point that I want to make is I don't ever want it to stop people getting into the sport. And I think I'm really biased on this because I've played this sport since I was 12. So all these things are in me. And I remember, Tom, when I had a round of golf with a guy that I went to school with, right? Very, very confident individual, right? Was in sales, on the phone all the time, proper bolshy, loud bloke. And he was just getting into golf. And we met at a really nice golf course in Manchester. And I was running late. And he waited for me in the car park because he was so I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to behave. And I was like, oh man, that's strange. And because I've done this sport forever, I can't remember those feelings. And I don't want anyone to ever have that feeling of not being able to get involved with the sport like he had. But equally, I do like the merry dance of etiquette. It's hard.
It's difficult, but that's the thing about golf. You have to hold the two things in your head at once. Don't ever use etiquette worries, and if you're new to golf, don't ever use the fusty old club worries to keep you from golf. There are a handful of clubs that are super expensive and super traditional. We all know those clubs, but the vast majority want you to go and play on those courses, and if they are unfriendly and if they are prickly, then you're not going to use them, and that is to their detriment. Most clubs want you to be there, and I always think of for me, and we must get onto the winning email, by the way, but for me, the thing that always shines through on this is I remember when I first played at my course when I wasn't a member, and I kept thinking, all these members are looking at me. They keep looking at me like, who are you? What are you doing here? And then when I became a member, I realized what they were doing when they look over is seeing if they know you, seeing if you're another member. When you play at a course where everyone knows each other, when you're members, you walk around going, oh, is that Jason? Oh, that's the way people play golf at these friendly clubs. They play with their eyes up often because they're looking to see if their mates are around. And that is there is a huge atmosphere of that at golf clubs. So don't ever let etiquette keep you out of golf.
Final email, and the winner of the £50 golf bidder voucher. Yes. Obviously, this is golf bidder email corner, which, by the way, go down to the description of this episode, whether it's the audio or the YouTube episode, and there's a little link to take you to the golf bidder website. It's our affiliate link, so it gives us a lot of love if you go and use it. If there's anything you're buying from golf bidder, make sure you go and tap that affiliate link. Just go and check out the website because there's loads of amazing clubs in there if you're a bit of a geek like us. I think we're going to give it to Will, are we, Tom? Will's email's going to win.
Will English.
Do you want to take
Congratulations, you are this week's winner. Sure. William English has sent us an email with the subject nightmare. So we get 7 or 8 emails a day with the subject nightmare. Yep. Hi, Toms. I had a nightmare on the course today. I'm a very average golfer. I play off 12 and I'm 16. I don't think that's average at all. That's very good.
That's really good.
Yeah. Let's have a little look at that, Will. I was playing a practice round on my own, and I was hitting 2 balls, as you do, to the second hole, par 3. First shot, just on the green on the left. So the next one, I aimed a bit more right, looked on a good line, but I can't see it land because there's a little ridge at the front of the green. I walked up there, and I can't see the ball, so I assume it was long. And then I checked the hole, as you do, and I found that I'd got a second ball hole in one, and absolutely no one saw it.
It's the key, isn't it? It's the key. It's the key. If a tree falls in a wood, does it make any noise? Does the golf ball going in the hole without anyone seeing? Of course it counts. And of course you will always know, Will. You always will. But just so you know, whenever you tell that story, everyone thinks you're lying.
It's a hole in one with an asterisk next to it, isn't it? Yep. You know, it's 99.9999% of a hole in one, but there will always be an element of doubt. And Will, if you are lying...
Price? Yeah. I'm about to do a football reference.
Is it Liverpool winning
like when
the
Liverpool
Premier
won the
League?
Premier League during COVID.
No.
Football!
We'd pretty much won it, as we have done this week as well. I believe we're going to win it this week too. We had won it before the lockdown happened.
Bit of football fun. Right, that's it. Well done, Will. You've got that £50.
Well done, Will. Congratulations.
Golf bidder voucher. Keep your emails coming in. The Toms at golfwithruinmylife.co.uk. We pick a favourite email every single week. You win a £50 golf bidder voucher. And Tom, there's so much that's happened in the show today. Should we wrap it up? Should we do like a summary?
Yeah, I think I mean, all the things we've talked about. We are going off on a road trip via an aeroplane to Scotland. Yep. We are going to Gainsborough to get fitted for all new ping clubs. Yep. It makes me giggle. I can't say it without giggling. And Will English didn't get a hole in one. There's a lot of things going on in today's show.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.